Well, we saw it before, point-to-point connection. You go to the plant, connect, let's say, via a hard modem direct to your sensor, and then you have your DTM running in a direct mode, let's say, in a point-to-point connection to your sensor. It's the easiest way, but the same is also possible using that what we just described, using a central point in your control room or in your office, and from there configuring all the devices top-down, or having a look what the devices are telling me, via diagnostic. And so you can make diagnostic scans over all your devices and get cyclic information about the status of the devices. Or you see, okay, let's have a look what happens with device number 14 or something like that, and open the individually, the particular DTM of this device, and have a look a little bit deeper in what happens there. So these possibilities are there, point-to-point, or these control room possibilities. Easy of choose is also a big factor. Well, if we introduce a technology, we want not to make it complex for you. We want to make it as easy as possible. That means if you are using a DTM, then you should understand it very easily, where are the functions, where are the diagnostics possibilities. And the first point of this technology is, if you look in the past, 20 years ago, you had maybe 10 manufacturers, 15 devices, and 12 tools, or something like that. You had a lot of different tools, for every manufacturer one specific tools, and you had to install all these things on your computer. Or you have to handle that, you have to understand how it works. And maybe both two tools are used in the past the same RS-232 interface, and then there were conflicts or things like that. So this was really a point that customers ask all the manufacturers, please, we want to have one common standard tool. One engineering tool or one asset management tool where I can work with all the manufacturers, with all the devices of the manufacturers. And FDT is the solution. FDT has these possibilities. You are using one common tool, an FDT frame, whatever it is, you choose which frame you want to have, and under these frames all the devices can be configured or using diagnostic. So that means fewer engineering tools, almost only one, the one which you are using. And all the other ones you don't need to use. And that means also faster commissioning, because you understand your tool. You don't have to learn about 10 different tools, you have only one tool, and you will find very easily the way how to configure the device. That means at the end of the day you have a faster commissioning and less mistakes. And of course, FDT is always looking for a certification process, and that means the DTMs were certified, and also the frames, so that the quality of the DTMs which are certified are really stable. And we have now over 10 years of experience, and we can say that in the meantime this technology is really stable, and especially if you're using certified DTMs, which you find in the download area of the Vega. Maybe we can have a quick view on what it is. I open, here you see the FDT group, and then you have here some area with a product catalog with certified DTMs. Oops. This area here, if I open that one, you will see that my wireless is very slow, but I have opened it here already. So you have a look here, for example, you have all the manufacturers which have certified DTMs. It's quite a big list in the meantime. You can choose per manufacturer. I've just chosen Amazon only as example. You can also choose here of device type and find your right device, or you can choose according protocols. And then you get a list. This is an example now from Amazon with all the certified devices. It is list 1 and 2, but you see this is the platform where you find all your devices which are certified. Okay, and another step to guarantee the quality of the DTMs is the regular interoperability testing, which we are doing. That means manufacturers find together, they go to some places and they find together and connect all the DTMs together in a kind of interoperability testing, so that we guarantee also that all these DTMs are working really together. And this is the second point, beside the certification process, these interoperability tests which we make in a regular way. Good. So plant asset management is also important due to the big amount of diagnostic possibilities. We helps you to, let's say, find mistakes and find possible problems in your plant, and we reduce, of course, the number of shutdowns in these different plants due to these possibilities. An example of Dow Chemical, in this case from Spain, of Tarragona. We have here these guys who were really impressed about the fast commissioning time, and they say, okay, we had almost 40% of reduction of this commissioning time, and this helps a lot in this plant, and this was one of the big arguments for them to use it also in other plants, because they really find very fast the possibilities to configure and to commission all these devices. Okay, easy of use means also the graphical interface. And as I told you before, a list of a lot of parameters written in a written form is very, very difficult to understand what we are doing. It's much, much better to use such kind of graphic. And we have here a rudder device which has at least hundreds of parameters, and here we make it really very easy using the graphical support of the FDT technology that you as user will find very easily the steps how to configure such a device. Yeah? And this is in principle one of the key arguments of FDT also, the big support of these graphical functionalities and parameters which could be a little bit complicated were shown to you in a very easy way. You really understand what you are doing, and you will find a right way to configure the device in a proper way. And this is only an example how the graphical are used, and there are hundreds of other examples in other ETMs where they have made similar things as in this example. Well, one frame application with a standard interface host. This is important that we really have one frame and not 20, as I told you before. We are using one device. And yeah, FDT also guarantees this system independent. We are in this case open for every protocol in this case. And important is also that these DTMs, which you open in one frame, appears in the same way in another frame. So if you open it, for example, with Pectware, and you use this DTM with another tool, maybe FieldCare or FieldMate, whatever you want to use, the appearance, the parameters, the graphicals are always the same. You will find very easily it is no difference. It is the DTM, the driver appears in the same way in all the different tools. Yeah? And which is not the same in the PD technology, which is the other technology in the market, because here it depends really on the tool you are using, and depending on the tool you get functionality more or less. Yeah? And here we have really all the functionality in all the different tools. Yeah? That is important. Well, life cycle, we have this support over the whole life cycle of a device. This means FDT helps you in the engineering phase. You have the topology overview, we have a network configuration. That means you can also configure the devices offline, yeah, before you connect to the device. Prepare all your parameterization, and then by a download, write all the things down. Yeah? So in the engineering phase, it supports you. It also supports you in the commissioning phase, in the startup, because here we can do some kinds of simulations with the DTM to simulate the devices, or calibrations of the different stories. And we have a look also on the diagnostic, starter and status, so that we get a feedback. Okay, am I right? Can we start now with the device and so on? And of course, at the end of the commissioning, you get a full documentation of your device. So you can have then a PDF file, or you can have a printing of all the parameters, of all the, let's say, configuration you have done with the device. This is also important, and important especially for the commissioning startup. Operation, during the operation, which is the longest time of the device, where the device is really working, then you have the possibilities of making asset management. So you have maybe a central tool, and you make continuously diagnostic, and the device will call you and tell you, okay, predicted maintenance, I'm going ill, I have some problems, the device will still work, yeah, but you have possibility enough to react to that, on that. A typical story is zum Beispiel using a radar device. You see, for example, the echo curve is quite good, and maybe 40, 50 dB, and after a certain time, this difference between good signal and noise is dramatically reduced. The device will still work also with less dBs, yeah, with less signal, but you know, okay, I have passed the limit and I have to do something. Maybe the antenna of the device, there is something on it or something like that. Yeah? We are losing somewhere signal. Yeah? So device is still running, but you get an alert that something is going wrong and you can react on that. Yeah? And these kinds of things were done with asset management tools. So that you set some limits and you see exactly, okay, in this case I have to go there. And what often is also interesting is the devices offers you a kind of status information to the DCS. And then you see, for example, it changed from red, from green, to let's say blue, diagnostic. And then you can go with the DTM into the device and have a more specific diagnostic view on the device. You can see more functionalities and detect exactly where is the mistake of this problem, of this possible problem. So the possibilities are here quite good to maintain the operation, yeah, to see that, or to look that your plant are still working and shutdowns are not possible. Service maintenance, of course, if something goes wrong and so on, you have also with the DTM different tools, different possibilities, like device-specific diagnostic, that's what I told you also with the echo curve, for example, or using the positioner, the live strokes, positive live strokes, which Glenn showed before. You can do this test with the positioners to see it's still working. Or, of course, using the documentation, you can again document and make a kind of documentation of all what you have done. So over the whole life cycle, the DTM supports you by working with your device and ensures that the plant where you, is running in an optimal way, in this case. Well, there is also a test made by the company Shell. They do that in this, let's say, organization called WIB, which is mainly in the Netherlands and Belgium area. And Shell, as a Netherlands company, leads this organization, and they discovered, they made a test between DD technology, device description technology, and FDT. And they say, okay, FDT really delivers new and extended capabilities, yeah, with all these graphical functionalities, they like this. And they see it also as right platform for application, configuration, operation, and maintenance. They see really all these advantages which we just saw. They recognize it and say, okay, this is a good tool for our manufacturers organized in this WIB organization. And they see also that the other technology, the device description technologies, limited in data access. They say, okay, parameterization, less graphical functionality, limited diagnostics, so they see limitations, and that's why they've put some, favorized the FDT technology in this case. And WIB encouraged vendors to provide DTMs with more intelligent functions. They want to have these functionalities for all the devices. Well, conclusion, FDT really reduces the total cost of ownership. Indeed, yeah, due to that we have, in principle, we allow as FDT group you that you select or choose your right product. Doesn't matter, we don't force you to one direction. We say whatever you are using, have a look on the catalog, on the certification, DTM certificated catalog, you will find surely the DTM for that. We protect the value of your plants due to that what we have explained, the diagnostic and all these possibilities, and FDT provides transparency and higher quality due to this information for your plants. And well, 90 companies or 90 members should gives an indication that this is a really strong organization and in principle a big organization also these days. Well, at least we have, as Glenn told you also before, 4,000 devices, maybe more supported devices. These are only the certified ones. Yeah? There are a lot of more devices, DTM devices coming along, which are still in certification process or not yet certified. And well, together with the 4,000 devices, also 16 FDT frames in the market, which gives you, of course, a big possibility to choose the right tool. But at the end, we can say FDT fits for all these needs of the customer, not only in the process automation, also in the factory automation, but well, we are here mainly in the process automation area, so in this case I think we have here different possibilities for you.